Hello students, welcome to Anne's classes. Let's do constructions chapter 18. We are going to learn to draw parallel lines. Now question 6. Draw a line AB equals 6 centimeters. Mark a point P anywhere outside the line AB. Through the point P, construct a line parallel to AB. So now we have to follow these points. Now first step is draw a line AB equals 6 centimeters. So we have a line here. Let's name it A and B. So this is AB. This is 6 centimeters. So you have to measure this with your ruler when you draw this. So AB is equal to 6 centimeters. Next sentence is mark a point P anywhere outside the line AB. So let's get a point there and let's mark it P, and it says anywhere outside the line AB. Now the next part is through the point P, construct a line parallel to AB. Now this is the point P. If we have to draw a line parallel to AB through this point, the line should come this way, isn't it? So for that line to come that way, there are some steps of construction that we have to do. First thing is, let's mark a point on the line segment AB. So we have marked a point here. So we have a point here. Let's name it Q. So this one is Q. Next, what we're going to join is we're going to join PQ. So let's join PQ. So now when we have joined PQ, can you see an angle is formed here? Now we are going to copy that same angle here. Now why are we going to do that? We are going to try to form corresponding angles. Why? Because when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, the corresponding angles are equal. If the corresponding angles are equal, that means the two lines are parallel. So that is one way of doing. Or you can construct alternate angles. We have one angle here. You can construct one more angle on the alternate side, the other side. Because again the property which says when a transversal cuts two lines and the alternate angles are equal, that means those two lines are parallel lines. In this case, we're going to construct corresponding angles. So what we're going to do is at the point Q, we are going to place a compass needle and draw an arc here. So let's do that. So we have an arc here. I'm going to copy that same angle here. So for that, I'm going to place a compass needle with that same radius at the point P and draw an arc here. So both the arcs are the same. What we are trying to do is we're going to copy the same angle here. Okay, so that they form congruent angles, corresponding angles. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my compass and adjust the legs of the compass in such a way that this distance is created. Okay, so take your compass, adjust the two legs of the compass in such a way that only this distance is created, and I'm going to take that same measurement. I'm going to place it at this point. Place it at this point, not at P, at this point where the arc has cut this line, and I'm going to draw an arc cutting this arc. So here we have this arc cutting this. So now the distance between this and the distance between this will be the same. So now you can see the two arcs have intersected at a point. Now here we're going to join this point P to this point of intersection and draw a line. So can you see we have drawn a line. Now these two lines are the parallel lines. So this is parallel to this line. We can name this as C and D, lines C and D. They are parallel. Now you can check this. Now they are parallel if this transversal has cut it in such a way that two angles are formed and these two angles are equal. So these are corresponding angles, they are equal, and because they are equal, now the two lines that have been drawn are parallel lines. So we can say CPD or CD is the required parallel line. So we have completed our construction. CD, that is this line, is the line parallel to AB. So we have constructed a parallel line CD through the point P so that it is parallel to AB. Question 7. Draw a line MN equals 5.8 centimeters. Locate a point A which is 4.5 centimeters from M and 5 centimeters from N. Through A, draw a line parallel to line MN. So let's follow every step carefully. Draw a line MN equals 5.8 centimeters. So we have a line here. Let's name it MN, and with the help of your ruler, you need to see that this is 5.8 centimeters. So we have the line MN, which is 5.8 centimeters. Now locate a point A. Now we need to get a point A here, but they've told us clearly how to get that point. In the previous question, we could put a point anywhere, isn't it? Whereas here they're telling us a particular way to do it. That is, this point should be 4.5 centimeters from M. That is, M is here. So let's put a point at M to make it clear for us. From this point M, we have to get 4.5 centimeters. So take your compass, measure 4.5 centimeters, place the needle of the compass at M and draw an arc. So we have an arc here. Now how did we get this arc? We measured 4.5 centimeters from M and drew that arc. Then and take 5 centimeters from N. Now we need to take from N 5 centimeters. So again take your compass needle, measure 5 centimeters on it, place it at N, the point N here, and from here draw an arc of 5 centimeters in such a way that it cuts this arc. So here it's cut the arc. So now this point of intersection is the point that they have asked us to mark as A. So we have located a point A. In the previous question, we just had to mark a point P anywhere, isn't it? But here we had to mark a point in such a way that we get all these measurements. So now let's draw these lines. So this is 4.5 centimeters, 4.5 centimeters, and we have one more here, and this is 5 centimeters. Now we are going to follow the steps that we followed in the previous question, where we were asked to draw a parallel line to a point that's given to us. So now we already have a point. So what we're going to do is we're going to make two corresponding angles of equal measurement. So we are starting from point M. We're going to construct an angle. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw an arc. So we draw an arc of any suitable measurement. Now we're going to copy this arc here at point A. So same measurement of your compass, place it at the point A and draw an arc. So we've got an arc here. So can you see? It's the same arc. Now take your compass and adjust the legs of your compass to get this measurement. So we're going to take that on your compass, place it at this point where the two have met. I will mark this in red. So this point in red where the arc has met the line. There we are going to cut this arc with the same measurement, that is the legs should be adjusted in such a way that we get this measurement. If I have to name it, I can name this as R and S, these 2 points. So this measurement is what we need to get, and we're going to mark it here. With that measurement, we are going to cut an arc here. So here we've got an arc. Now we have this point and this intersection of the arc, we can draw a line. So when we draw a line, we have two corresponding angles here, and since the corresponding angles are equal, these two lines are parallel to each other. So let's name the line CD, and this is parallel to MN. So CD is the required line parallel to MN, and that's what we were asked to do, and we have drawn CD, which is parallel to MN. Question 8. Draw a straight line AB equals 6.5 centimeters. Draw another line which is parallel to AB at a distance of 2.8 centimeters from it. So let's begin with the first part. Draw a line AB. So we have drawn a line AB and the measurement is given to us. So with the help of your ruler, get the correct measurement. AB is equal to 6.5 centimeters. Now, draw another line which is parallel to AB at a distance of 2.8 centimeters from it. So at a distance here, the distance should be 2.8 centimeters, and we draw another parallel line here. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a perpendicular line, that is 90-degree angle. So let's draw a 90-degree angle. So all of us know how to construct a 90-degree angle. So the first step is draw an arc. You can mark a point in the middle, draw an arc. From here, we cut this with, draw an arc here to cut this main arc, which is 60 degrees. So we cut that. Placing a compass needle here, we draw one more arc and that makes it 120. So this is 60-degree point. This is the 120-degree point. Now, what comes in between is the 90 degree. So with the help of your compass again, placing it at this point, draw an arc, then place it at this point, cut that arc. So this point of intersection, draw it, join it to this line AB. So we have a 90-degree line here, which is perpendicular to line AB. So what we have done here is we have constructed a 90-degree angle and we followed all the steps of a 90-degree construction by drawing the main arc. Then we have the 60-degree mark, the 120 mark, and here placing it here we cut two arcs and then we have joined. Now we have a 90-degree line. Now on this line we are going to mark 2.8 centimeters. So take your compass, measure 2.8 centimeters, place it at this point which we are going to name as point P. Let's name it as point P. Now here at point P, place your compass needle and cut an arc of 2.8 centimeters. So here we have cut this arc here. So this point here is 2.8 centimeters. Now we need to draw a parallel line here. That means at this point we need to get another 90-degree mark. So just like we did this construction for 90 degrees at this point P, at this point, now let's name that point as Q. At point Q, construct a 90-degree angle. So if we follow all these steps, first we draw a main arc at this point. So we have a main arc. Now we're going to mark the 60-degree angle and the 120-degree angle by placing our compass needle at this point. We're going to mark the arc for 60 degrees and by placing it here, we're going to mark the arc for 90 degrees for 120. So this is 60, this is 120. Now we need to get a 90-degree line here. So place our compass needle here and cut an arc, draw an arc there. Place it here and cut that arc. So we have a 90-degree mark there. Now draw a line passing through this. So we have a line passing through that. Now this line is now parallel to line AB. So let's name this as CD. CD is parallel to line AB. So CD is the required line parallel to AB. Another way of doing question 8. Let's try that. Draw a straight line AB equals 6.5 centimeters. That's the first step. So we have our line. Now let's mark it as AB. Remember to use the ruler or the straight edge and get your 6.5 centimeters. So we have 6.5 centimeters. Again, to draw another line which is parallel to line AB at a distance of 2.8 centimeters from it. Another way of doing it is this. Take your compass needle, measure 2.8 centimeters, place the needle at A and draw an arc above A. So here we have an arc above A. Remember, it should be 2.8 centimeters from A. Similarly, with that same measurement, 2.8 centimeters, place it at B and draw an arc above. So now we have two arcs here. This arc is drawn in such a way that from A to this arc it is 2.8 centimeters. From B to this arc it is 2.8 centimeters. Now draw a line in such a way that it touches the topmost part of the two arcs. So now we have a line drawn here. So can you see this line that is drawn has touched the topmost parts of the two arcs and that line is parallel to line AB. So let's name this line. This line is CD and this line is parallel to line AB. So this is the other way of drawing a parallel line at a certain distance away from AB. So CD is the required parallel line. Question 9. Construct an angle PQR equals 60 degrees. Draw a line parallel to PQ at a distance of 3 centimeters from it and another line QR at a distance of 3.5 centimeters from it. Mark the point of intersection of these parallel lines as A. So let's go through this step by step. First thing is construct an angle PQR equals 60 degrees. So here we have a line. You can draw a line of any measurement. Now here QR, since it says that the angle is PQR. So at Q we need to get our 60 degrees. Now you can use a protractor to get your 60 degrees, or you can use your compass and get your 60 degrees. So we have this 60-degree angle here, and this is P. So remember, this is 60 degrees. So we have done the first thing, constructing an angle PQR equals 60 degrees. Here it says draw a line parallel to PQ. So this is PQ. A line parallel to this means it should come this way, and it says clearly at a distance of 3 centimeters from it. So the distance between P and Q and the next parallel line is 3 centimeters. So that is, this is going to be 3 centimeters. Now in the previous question, we learned to construct a parallel line at a particular distance. Now here also we have been given a particular distance, and I taught you two methods. You can use any one of those methods. So in this case, I'm going to use the second method. That is, I'm going to place my compass needle at Q and get a radius measurement of 3 centimeters, and I'm going to place it at P also with the same measurement and draw two arcs. So we have our first arc. I have placed my compass needle at P and the distance here is 3 centimeters. I've drawn an arc. I'm going to have the same measurement, place my compass needle at Q and draw an arc. Now I'm going to draw a line in such a way that it touches the topmost portion of the two arcs. So now can you see a line has been drawn. Now this line, let's name it as AB. So I have AB, which is parallel to PQ. Okay, so let's mark that. So AB is parallel to PQ. I can write it here. AB is parallel to PQ. So we've finished drawing that, and that is 3 centimeters, as you can see. Now I'm going to draw similarly by following this. I have to draw another line parallel to QR. So here I have QR. I need to draw a parallel line but at a particular distance again. So now same way, in the same way, I'm going to take my compass, measure 3.5 centimeters on it. I'll place it at Q and draw an arc. Then I'll place it at R and draw another arc. So here, remember, the distance here should be 3.5 centimeters. So this measurement is going to be there on your compass, and now I'm going to draw the two arcs. So the first arc I have drawn by placing my compass needle at Q. Now with the same 3.5 centimeters, I'm going to place my compass needle at R and draw an arc. So now I have two arcs. I'm going to draw a line which touches the topmost portion of the two arcs. So now I have my line which is touching the topmost portion. Now this line, we'll name it as, I already have A there, so D. Okay, so now this line is parallel to QR. So I've got a line that is parallel to QR. So we've done the second part also. Now what are we asked to do? So here let's mark that there, then let's write it as AD. Okay, AD is parallel to QR. Now we're going asked to mark the point of intersection of these parallel lines as A. So here we have the point of intersection. This is one parallel line. This is the other parallel line. The point of intersection here, we've been asked to mark it as A, and we have the marking there as A. So this is our construction of two parallel lines and the point of intersection of these two parallel lines. Question 10. Draw an angle ABC equals 60 degrees. Draw a bisector of it. So first we construct an angle of ABC 60 degrees. So let's do that part first. So draw a line segment. You can name it BC because it says ABC is 60 degrees. That means at B we're going to construct the 60 degrees. So this is BC. Any measurement with the help of your ruler you can draw. Now we're going to construct a 60-degree angle at point B. So here what do? Keeping your compass needle at point P, we draw an arc. Now placing it at this point, that is the point of intersection of this arc on B and C. This point, we are going to draw an arc on this. We're going to cut this arc with another arc. So this is the arc, this is the 60-degree point. So from this point, we're going to draw a line starting from B. So here we have the line drawn. So this angle is 60 degrees. So we have A here. ABC is 60 degrees. So this is the first part of the question. Draw an angle ABC equals 60 degrees. So we have drawn an angle ABC 60 degrees. Now the second part, draw the bisector of it. That means we're going to divide this into two equal halves, bisecting this. So we're going to take a compass needle, place it at this point, draw an arc here. Now we're going to place it at this point and cut that arc. Now there is a point of intersection of the two arcs. We are going to draw a line through it. So when we draw a line through it, what we have got now is the bisector of angle ABC. So let's name this as D, this point D. So that means BD is the bisector of angle ABC. So we finished the first part. We drew an angle of 60 degrees. Then we also drew the bisector. Now we are asked to draw a line parallel to BC, a distance of 2.5 centimeters from it. So here we are going to draw a line that is parallel to BC. Again, a distance is given to us. So we know when a distance is given to us, how to draw a parallel line. And the distance here is 2.5 centimeters. So take that on your compass, place your compass needle at B and draw an arc. Similarly, place it at C and draw an arc. So let's do that. So placing it at B, you've drawn an arc and this is 2.5 centimeters from B. We're going to keep that same measurement at point C and draw one more arc. So now we have two arcs. Now let's draw a line touching the topmost part of these two arcs. So we have this line drawn and let's name it as MN. So this is M and this is N. That means MN is the required parallel line. So MN is the required parallel line to BC. So let's mark that. So MN is parallel to BC. So we have marked that. So what have we done so far? We have drawn an angle of 60 degrees. We drew the bisector of it. Now here we are asked to draw a parallel line. We have drawn the parallel line of 2.5 centimeters from it. So we finish all those parts. Now let's continue. Let this parallel line, that is the one that you've drawn MN, meet AB at point P. So here as you can see, this line MN has met AB at a particular point. So this point we are asked to name it as P. So let's do that, P. And let's continue. And angle bisector at point Q. So this parallel line has touched this angle bisector at a particular point here, this point, and we are asked to name it as Q. So let's call it Q. So we are asked to call this as Q. Now the question is, measure the lengths of BP. So where is BP? So we have B here and P here. We have to measure this length of BP and PQ. PQ. So BP and PQ we are asked to measure and we are asked, is BP equal to PQ? So what you have to do is take your ruler, measure BP and PQ and you will see that the length of BP is the same as the length of PQ. That means BP is equal to PQ. So we have answered this part also. The answer is yes. So we have completed this construction. We have done all that we have been asked to do. And finally, we have found out that BP is equal to PQ. We'll stop with that for now, children. In our next video, we will continue with the remaining questions. Thank you, children.